Welcome back to the big room. If you are listening with your eyeballs, I'm in the wrong chair. And that's because Nick is gone. We killed him with a gun. I'm kidding. No, he, for some reason, is driving 2,500 miles across the country. And so I stole his chair, which is terrible. This is the worst chair ever made. So to replace Nick, for now, for just this week, I think he's back next week, right?
I think so.
Good.
As far as we know. Who's to say?
We have a special guest, Michaela.
Hi.
A woman!
A woman!
Woo!
Thank God.
We're
The
taking...
future's female.
We had to bring some balance to the show because Carl and I are stupid men who tend to agree about most movies. And we watched bloody Dirty Dancing this week. I have some get to know Michaela questions. We did a similar thing with Forrest during the Superman show, but his were all comic book related, so I had to write all new ones. And I tried not to be sexist, but here we go. Are you ready?
Yep.
For this or that? Number one, popcorn or candy?
Candy.
Okay. Wine or a cocktail?
Cocktail.
Book or movie?
Book.
Ooh, spring or fall?
Ooh.
Summer and winter.
Fall.
Yep, correct. Drive or fly?
Fly.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Mm-hmm. Blanket or fan?
I gotta go fan.
Yep. Podcast or music?
Music.
Pasta or pizza?
Pasta.
Disney day or beach day?
Ooh,
That's a hard one.
So hard.
I was proud of that one when I wrote it down.
I'm gonna say Disney Day.
And then the most important question for the show, Ryan Gosling or Ryan Reynolds? That was a neither.
Yeah, I don't like the Ryans.
Damn.
she doesn't like
No
the
Ryans.
Ryans?
We've never had that answer, but you had to pick one. You have to be locked in a room with him for 24 hours.
Ryan Reynolds.
Correct.
Oh,
I don't remember.
After my own heart.
Carl, what were you?
Gosling.
Yeah. See, me
Yeah.
and Carl agree. Look at
Michaela is a woman of wisdom. Very wise, good taste. You know what's funny?
that. What?
Danielle and I in our casual conversations all this week could not remember the name of the movie we watched last.
No.
So what does that say?
Well, we had to think every time. We were like, what was it?
was it
Oh, yeah.
called?
The Born and Dead.
Oh yeah. So maybe not
You're
the
having
most-
amnesia like he was.
Yep.
Very selective
Or-
amnesia.
It's not the most memorable movie of all time. Now, instead, we watched a movie that no one will ever forget because of a line at the very end called Dirty Dancing. It's not what the line says. It is a romantic drama dance film. All things Carl loves. Romance, drama, and dance. Especially dance. It was released on August 21st, 1987. It had a budget of pennies. Its budget was $4.5 million. And it made 214.
Yeah,
So it's
it
like
did.
arguably one of the
Wow.
most profitable movies we've ever seen on the show, which is pretty cool. The director is Emile Ardolino, who's Italian-American, clearly. And the writer was Eleanor Bergstein. The story for the movie is based on, it's semi-autobiographical. So it's based on her actual childhood, being the younger daughter of a New York Jewish doctor, vacationing in the Catskills and participating in dirty dancing competitions. She did all those
In
things.
competitions.
She was also nicknamed Baby,
Okay.
Nice.
which is
That makes it make more sense.
I knew a girl named Sweetie.
that's
Ooh.
Everyone
is
called
that
her.
her real name.
No, but everyone. It was just like baby. Everyone called her Sweetie.
Was she sweet?
Yeah, she was
Okay.
fine.
She was fine.
Just being a baby, like being called baby at 18 is, I would hate
Yeah, I
that.
was like, there's no way her protective father is letting everybody call her baby. I
But
didn't
he
buy
does
that.
it too.
Right off the bat, too.
Well, but that's his baby girl, you know?
That's true.
It's different.
Maybe everybody,
For
maybe,
everyone else to just so casually throw that around, I was just like, ugh.
yeah,
this
but
is
maybe
strange.
she's like, my name's Baby because she doesn't want to throw her real name out there, which is Francis.
But
Hi,
there's
nice
gotta
to
be
meet you.
other
I'm
contenders.
Francis.
I think he even says that's a real adult name.
Yeah, like she's got the name of a teenage boy who died of measles. Francis. Come
See,
on.
I think of an old grandma with like, oh, there's Frances with her knitting needles and she loves cranberry sauce.
No. I think of like a kid in a streetcar in the 1920s for some
Interesting.
reason. Francis. This script was originally picked up by MGM and then got sent to development hell in 1985 when there was like leadership change at the studio. So then it was just like put on ice, which sucks.
It happens.
It was eventually picked up by Vestron Pictures, which has been out of business for, I forgot to look up for how long, but forever, after an agreement that the budget would be cut in half to $5 million. And a typical budget for films of that time was $12 million.
Okay.
So this movie was made even back then for no money. Which is just insane. She wrote the screenplay, Bergstein wrote the screenplay for a Jill Clayburgh and Michael Douglas film called It's My Turn. And that film had an erotic dance scene that the producers cut out, which must have pissed her off, because then she went and wrote Dirty Dancing, which is cool. And the choreographer, one more thing, we'll break for a little minute, talk about something else. But for the choreographer, Bergstein chose Kenny Ortega, who was trained by Carl's boy, Gene Kelly. So he did the choreography for this. Do you know who that is?
Kenny Ortega. Didn't he do High School Musical?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, he did.
This is why we have women on the show. Carl, High School Musical, right?
Too.
No.
We say Gene Kelly is Carl's boy because he hates Gene Kelly, actually.
I just don't like musicals that often.
No, you don't.
That's all.
Strictly speaking,
But like
Carl
he really
hates,
didn't like singing in the rain.
Yeah, he hates singing in the rain. And
It
most
insists
often,
upon itself.
you really hated the make 'em laugh scene.
Oh my god, that was too much. I was like, make it stop.
Make it stop. Okay, one more thing. It was the director's first feature film.
Okay.
Like
Interesting.
firing out of the gate with Dirty Dancing.
Good for him.
He got super locked in on the project when he read the script during jury duty,
Nice.
which is a hell of a time. So my first question is, I assume you two have seen this before.
No, this is my first time.
You're joking.
What?
I thought for sure you would have seen this
No,
before.
I've seen the clips and everybody knows the line.
Yeah, the line, nobody puts baby in a corner.
Right.
So we've
But I'd never seen it before.
3 of it. Carl,
Whoa.
you've not.
No.
No. Sometimes you surprise me. I hadn't seen it either. So Danielle, this is just for you then. I am gobsmacked by that.
I am too. Your sister dances. I was like, for sure, like she's seen.
You know
Dirty
what?
Dancing.
But I'm not really a movie person.
Yeah.
So you're at home
She's
here.
right at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because neither am I. Carl's.
I like a
You're
TV
better than
show.
me.
What is it?
You're better than me at seeing movies,
Oh.
right? Like, yeah, you've seen it.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at movies.
I'm pretty good at it. He's skilled.
I've seen a few.
She's TV. I'm just watch Star Wars over and over and over. And,
Top Gear, one show.
yes, one show. I have my one show.
Yeah. That's it.
Beer. So, I guess Danielle then. When did you see it first and how old were you?
Okay, so I think it was like my freshman or sophomore year of college.
So you're 19, 20?
1920. I definitely would not have been allowed to see this as a child because
hell no.
it's a lot.
That was like my takeaway is that movie is significantly hornier than I expected.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty horny.
It's horny, dude.
Yeah.
And it's called Dirty Dancing, so egg on my face. But still.
Yeah.
But right from the intro credits,
Yeah, so what
Yeah.
were your
hits
takeaways
the ground
then
running.
I can't
after your
remember
first viewing?
what like led me to watch it because like it's from the 80s, so I don't know what in my 20-year-old brain was like, you know what, now's the time to watch Dirty Dancing. But that's what I can't remember, but I was then obsessed. I watched it over and over. I bought a t-shirt with nobody puts baby in a corner on it. Yeah, I was in.
What about it though? 'Cause
Merch.
I assume knowing you, it wasn't the raw sex appeal of the film.
I mean, I love sex appeal, you know me.
All right, maybe yeah. I mean, but
I don't.
Was it
That's
the
a joke.
romance
I
storyline?
think
Was it
yeah.
just the Swayze-ness?
I really liked. So it's funny because I usually hate 80s music, but I thought the soundtrack was fun. I liked the dance.
You said you bought the soundtrack.
I did. I bought it on Apple. I was in.
like on a
guys.
CD.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Wait, no, I think I bought it on Apple,
Okay.
like music or
digital.
whatever.
You didn't go out and buy a
No, I
disc.
didn't buy a disc. I could connect my little phone to my car at that point. So
Your little phone.
my little phone to my little car. No, I don't know. I think it was everything. I liked the romance. I really liked the whole like learning how to dance montage, and like that part of it was really fun. I really liked her little outfits. The whole movie, like last night, the whole movie, I was like, she's so cute in her little shorts. I like that she had curly hair as a curly haired girl. I don't know.
That's true. You were talking about how you identify with the curly hair.
So I just really
You like
liked
to
it.
see
I liked a lot of it.
curly-haired person in film.
I do. I feel represented.
Can
There
I
you
just
go.
throw this in here really quick?
Absolutely.
Okay. I was going to say what I really liked about these like older movies too, though, is that the actresses look like real people.
Yes.
Where like actresses today, they all go to the same plastic surgeon.
Right.
They all have the same face essentially, but like
And teeth.
these women were so beautiful, like in their own unique way, and they looked like people that we would know.
I saw
Yeah.
a Blue Sky, a skeet, whatever the hell you call those in Blue Sky, and it was someone going like, "I love watching old movies from when teeth looked real." And
Yeah.
it was parentheses before 2015
Yeah.
or whatever. Which everybody's got veneers and they look like
They look
like
weird.
toilet teeth.
They're off. They're
Terrible.
all awful.
Yeah.
So our lead actors are Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze. Those are our top two, and then we have the mom from Gilmore Girls in there somewhere, and the Newmans in there as well. Newman,
I can't ever remember his real name.
because his name is just Newman.
Newman.
Wayne Knight.
Wayne Knight, of course. It's
Yeah.
it's a strong name, but he's Newman. You know,
Yeah.
he's also the guy from Al's
Park.
Toy Barn and Toy Story 2.
I thought you were gonna say Jurassic
yeah.
Park.
Cluck, cluck, cluck. No,
Okay.
so
That is a little film.
I
Jurassic Park.
have people in my phone. I
Okay.
got people in
All
here.
right.
They're screaming. No, I have people considered for the role of
Ooh.
Baby.
Oh, for baby. Okay.
And there are hitters in here.
Oh.
Winona Ryder,
Oh
Okay.
man.
Huh.
Sarah Jessica Parker,
No,
Sharon Stone.
I don't know who that is off the top of my head.
Me either. Those were the three, though. And they eventually chose 26-year-old Jennifer Grey, daughter of the Oscar-winning actor and dancer Joel Grey from Cabaret.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So Nepo baby.
I've never.
Has she
seen
been in
Cabaret.
anything else?
I have no idea.
Okay.
She was in Red Dawn.
That was before this, though.
She was in an episode of Friends.
Wow.
A couple of them, I think.
killing it.
Wow.
I don't know what else. I don't think she's done a ton, really.
Yeah. But some big heavy hitters, and she's just as pretty as any of them. Now, Patrick Swayze, joke for Carl
Joke for
that I will
Carl.
not explain. So Johnny, other big hitters. Billy Zane was considered. Val Kilmer and
Ooh.
Benicio del Toro
No.
are considered for Johnny.
Right? Am I wrong in being like, no?
Yeah, and
That seems like no.
The next choice was 34-year-old Patrick Swayze. He had co-starred with Grey, Baby, in Red Dawn, 1984's Red Dawn, which Danielle brought up, and they hated each other.
Oh no.
They did not get along at all. The producers were thrilled with Swayze, but his oh my god, the dogs are fighting. It's so distracting. His resume had a big thing: no dancing. He wasn't allowed to dance
Oh.
because he had a knee injury.
Oh.
So
He
he was-
auditioned for a role
yeah.
of Dirty Dancing.
Yes.
And he said no dancing.
So his resume read no dancing after a knee injury, but then Swayze got a hold of the script and was like, screw you. He liked the character, so he's like, I'm gonna dance and I'm gonna do all my own stunts.
Oh.
He did a good job.
So everything you see happen,
What
like
a
that was
guy.
Patrick Swayze.
All the lifting? King.
All the
Wow.
lifting, yes.
King.
He really kicked that pole?
He really kicked that hole.
The fight scene was real. Those were real
Well,
punches.
I don't know if they're real punches, but the sound effects for the punches were better than freaking Born Identity, dude. I didn't have to hear psh, psh, psh,
Sound effects are
repeatedly.
so good.
God, so bad. What was I going to say? So Jennifer
Hilarious.
Grey was not happy about Swayze getting cast because they hated each other in Red Dawn. But when they did their screen test, like the dancing test for like pre-pro, Bergstein described it as, quote, breathtaking, their chemistry.
I mean, I feel like they had good
Nice.
chemistry.
Yeah, they did have good chemistry, except for the
Oh, yeah.
fact that they continued to despise each other during
Yeah,
this
they
film,
really-
and they kept having spats before scenes. And several times, apparently, the director had to sit them down and show them footage of their own screen tests so they could get back into that chemistry mindset
gosh.
and shoot the
Wow.
scenes. And like that tickling scene when they're like trying to do whatever, apparently that was not in the script. And she was actually ticklish, and he was pissed off because they kept having to reshoot that caress because she kept laughing. And then the editors just like cut it in.
They were like, "Oh, this
'Cause they were
works,
like, oh, it's
actually."
demeaning. But if you watch it again, Patrick Swayze's face, he's furious because he doesn't want to do more takes.
Yeah.
Wow.
He doesn't want to stroke her side anymore.
So you're like Mythbusters. They work well together, but hate
They
each
hate
other.
each other. Yeah,
Yeah.
This movie is just like Mythbusters. One more fun fact
Well, that
I
kind of
have.
makes me sad.
One more fun fact I have. What's the Gilmore Girls lady's name?
Emily Gilmore.
Yes. Baby's mom.
Kelly Bishop. Kelly Bishop.
Kelly Bishop.
I had to think about
Kelly Bishop was originally cast in a different role I don't remember which one. And there was a different
I'd want to
actress.
know which one.
There was a different. I know, but I didn't write it down. So you'll have to do your own research.
Dang.
A different actress was playing the mom, right? And she is visible in one scene when the car pulls up to the resort at the very beginning. You can see in the passenger seat blonde hair.
Ooh.
Wow.
So they
Kelly
had a
Bishop
different
is
mom,
red hair.
and she got ill during the first couple weeks, so she had to be recast. But they kept that driving scene in.
Interesting. They're like, yeah, we don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I wonder if she was originally the girl who was sleeping with him. Who's Mo? Her husband was
Ooh,
Mo.
that's a
and he was
good.
gone.
That's a
Wonder
good
if maybe
find.
that was
Vivian,
her.
I
Yeah.
think is her name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vivian.
Could have been, but I don't remember.
Because there wasn't
'Cause
a
I
lot
didn't write
of
it down.
older characters, you know?
Yeah, there were.
There were two really old characters,
There were
and
two
they were
really old
stealing wallets, which is great.
You gotta steal wallets.
Filming happened all over the place. So the real life resorts are in upstate New York, but the scenes for the movie were filmed in North Carolina and Virginia, which is very not New York.
Yeah, no.
And then filming was delayed at one point to they had to do the lake scene
Mm-hmm.
where they're like, the easiest place to learn lifts is the water. And
Right.
so they go in the lake. It was 40 degrees because it was October. And they had to spray paint all the leaves green.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good for the leaves.
What is this podcast rated?
This podcast is rated. You can say whatever you
I
want.
was saying
Yeah.
that's why her nips were so hard.
Right. And they put her in a white shirt. A white shirt. I'm like,
I was like, whoa, girl.
come on.
Okay.
Yeah, last night Cameron was like, make sure she's in all white for the scene where she's in the lake.
Yeah, her high
Ayo.
beams were on. It was crazy. She described the water as, quote, horrifically cold. And I believe her. And they were in
Yeah.
there forever.
I'm
Just
sure.
mad at each other, hating each other, doing lifts and stuff. So funny. And then my last fun fact is the final cinematic lift was never rehearsed. They did it one time, and it's the shot that was used.
What?
Wow.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
That's sick.
You almost missed it.
Oh, no, I have one more, actually. Patrick Swayze insisting on doing his own stunts. The log scene.
Oh.
The log balancing scene. He fell off that log so many times, one of his knees ballooned, and it had to be drained of fluid
Ew,
with a needle.
stop. Blech, I don't like it.
That is a fun fact.
It's like a fun fact in the way that all the Wizard of Oz facts were fun. Like everyone died, and, like got copper
Cancer,
poisoning,
yeah.
and, permanent scarring. That movie was a disaster. So this movie's crazy. I did not know what to expect, but I think I expected a little more grease and a little less
Abortion.
abortion.
Yeah, that really caught me off guard.
What's with summer, like coming of age? Like Grace also abortion plot a little bit. Hey, Kaneki, I'm not pregnant. And he's like, yeah. And then like, she's on the Ferris wheel and whatever. Like, that's insane. And then there's abortion is like a pillar point.
It's
in
how
this
we
movie.
get going.
It's how we get going.
It's what's
Yeah.
the plot device.
Because
if
at
you
first
will.
there's just like, now smooth with the women, except for you, Patrick Swayze. For some reason, you're not allowed to smooth with the
'Cause
daughters of all the rich people.
the entertainment people, they're the bottom tier, you know?
Yeah.
Like we've got classism happening. You
And
know?
then Baby's just like, she sneaks in and hears all that. And then I don't know, she's getting hit on by the owner's guy's son whose name
Yeah.
is Neil. or
Neil.
something.
God.
Neil
Gross.
sucks,
Hate
dude.
that guy.
Everybody hates Neil.
He simultaneously looks like both the comedy and tragedy mask. Like, I think I like that guy less than Casper.
Whoa!
I fucking hate that guy. His face is the worst parts of Tobey Maguire and Bradley Cooper
Yes!
just mixed together. Yeah.
Yes, it's very apt. And his
That's
hair
my
sucks.
party trick is I can find two faces that everybody is.
And meld them.
Yeah.
You're like an Instagram filter gone bad.
Deconstructing.
I think it's insane that like the way that she gets into the Dirty Dancing scene is by carrying the world's worst watermelon. Like,
That's
it looks
another
like a
big
pill.
line is I carried a watermelon.
I carried a
Also,
watermelon.
that guy, who hurt him? What's he trying to prove? 3 watermelon?
I know.
Use or is he like that guy from Community whose whole life is a gym? And he's just like, this is an opportunity for gains. Like, you never know.
And why were
But
the
that seemed
watermelons?
ridiculous.
The watermelons were shaped exactly like NyQuil.
Yeah,
I
they're
want to know why.
pill watermelons.
Like they're not nice ovals.
Before
They're
we
very
started
elongated.
genetically engineering them.
Yeah. Okay, the dog's not puking. Got it. Very cool.
No,
Yeah,
she just had a little cough.
I'm carrying a watermelon. And then so we get in the watermelon. There's dirty dancing going on. I can't understand if dirty dancing is a real thing. Like the screenwriter said it reminded, like she was inspired by her Dirty Dancing days,
I
like
think it's
competitions.
just, you
but
know,
like,
It's
you
not
go
like
to the
it's not like a thing,
Pick up
but yeah,
chicks
it's
and
like
dance dirty. Like what?
it's like with the naughty kids. They're out in the back smoking cigarettes and grinding on each
dancing
other. You know,
mamba.
like
Yeah, I don't think anybody would call it dirty dancing. I think they'd just be like, we're partying.
yeah.
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 Or did they have that groovy but now kind of cringe?
You
and
guys
awkward
want to
name?
dance dirty?
You want to get some? We're gonna
Yeah.
go downtown and dirty dance. Like what? I'm dirty dance. Like what?
Yeah, they probably didn't call it that, but
I didn't
No.
like it. But they dance dirty.
They
and she
did.
gets in and she wants to
It's
be
the
with
implication.
Johnny, but Johnny's dancing with somebody else. And
Penny, I think.
Penny. Is it Penny?
Yeah.
yeah.
Who's
You'd
pregnant.
think they were a couple.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like that.
They want us to think that.
Yeah.
And then
And then they're like,
Surprise.
and they're like, no, it was Robbie who's the devil. Because
Yeah.
Penny's
Yeah,
like
that guy sucks,
crying.
too.
This is the part of the movie where I got confused about all the names because there were Lisa's and Penny's and Robbie's and Johnny's and everyone's name ends in E except for Lisa.
And babies.
And babies and the dad's name. What did I just say pre-show? The dad's name is abhorrent. Jake.
Yeah.
The dad's name
That's
is Jake?
the dad's name.
I was
Jake.
thinking about that's not a dad name.
No.
He
not
should
a
be a
dad name.
Robert or
He
something.
should
Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
be a Robert. But he's
A Steve.
Jake.
Or Ronnie, maybe.
Not
but I still think
Jacob. I
Robert.
guess you can't
No.
be Jacob either. Like Jacob's.
Sit down, Jacob. It doesn't work.
Jacobs are 6 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jakes are assholes. And this guy is one.
Especially for that time. Like, Jake doesn't seem like
Doesn't
it would
feel
be a
right.
dad.
You told
I don't know
me.
that he was an asshole. I thought he was a kind of a good dad.
Yeah, I
the
kind
most
of liked
part.
him too.
He came around.
I mean, he
thought
came
If we had more
around.
dads like him, we wouldn't have to have so many Field of Dreams.
But all of her. But isn't all of her flooziness a result of his?
His bad parenting.
Yeah, his hard-handed, like, waspiness. I don't know.
He's supportive when it counts, though. He's there for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't like ask
gave
what's
her
going
that
on. He's
money.
like,
I mean,
all right,
after he,
yeah.
He
but
did.
then he gives her the
No questions
silent
asked.
treatment for half the movie.
Well, yeah, because she took
Well, he
his
was shocked.
money to go pay for a crime.
I don't know why I don't.
Yeah,
want
was it
like
a
that.
crime?
Yeah, I think
Is that
abortion would have
illegal
been
then?
illegal. Yeah.
So you shocked me last night when you told me that this movie was a period piece. It's supposed to be set in the 60s. Yeah, see?
yeah, the movie
But
starts.
the music is
All 80s.
Yeah.
Which is when it was made.
Yep.
So it's got contemporary music. Carl said earlier, it's like a Knight's Tale, except not as extreme.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
The gap is way closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, We Will Rock You came out like way before 2001 or whenever A Knight's Tale came out, but still. Yeah, they use no 60s music in it at all, really. There's no like Beach Boys or the
Yeah.
Beatles happening. It's all terrible synths.
Maybe that music wasn't sexy enough for the.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe it was
For
to
the
show that they
dirty
were ahead of the
dancing.
time.
You know
And to
what?
show the generational gap.
That's actually kind of real because I can't imagine Patrick Swayze trying to like dance all sexy to like "I Want to Hold Your Hand."
Yeah.
And she even said it was before the Beatles in our intro like
Oh, you're
narration. She
right.
goes, "It was the summer of '63, before the Beatles, before JFK
yeah, you're
got
right.
shot."
Right, but yeah, the two great like landmark
defining
things
moments.
of the '60s: Beatlemania and JFK's brain.
I mean, is she wrong?
We landed on the moon.
Did we though?
Did we though? Did we?
Kidding. I'm kidding. Like, that was a bit.
Sure, it was.
Wow,
Sure.
we know
it
who
was.
Carl voted for now. I'm joking.
The Earth is flat.
Joking. So yeah, period piece, which is nuts, and then yes, we get right into abortions, like you were saying. It's our Pulp Fiction briefcase.
You were very not into the movie until that started happening.
because nothing happens.
Yeah.
Before that movie, it's dudes going, "Now we've got to be with the daughters, but not you, Patrick Swayze." And then it's just like watermelons, some dancing,
just some
and then we
watermelons.
go into a dimly lit kitchen where I'm expecting raptors to come around the corner, and in Jurassic Park, and Penny, is that her face?
Yeah. Mhm.
Penny from The Big Bang Theory is crying in the corner, and we're like, what is going on? And she's pargnert.
She is.
I thought she was on drugs.
That's
I
what
thought
I
that's
thought.
where
That's
that
what
was
Cameron
going.
said.
Was she
Cameron-
was like
I thought she
really
took
messed
like
up.
way too much LSD or Quaaludes or
Yeah.
something, but
No.
no, she's pregnant.
got
And when
a
you're
baby.
pregnant, you go sob under a stainless steel counter in a kitchen.
That's
what
what
I did.
I would do.
So then we're like, pregnant. We got to get rid of the baby, but I can't get rid of the baby because my schedule's too full for my
Right.
abortion. I keep looking at my calendar and I just don't got a day free.
I can't squeeze it in.
Because like first it's the money. We don't have $250, which I looked it up. That's like $5,000. No, it was like $2,600
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Wow. Inflation 10x since 1963. And only getting worse. Now, that's a shitload of money.
Yeah.
And abortion's illegal, like Danielle said. So you got to find like a doctor with blue gloves and a coat hanger. I don't understand how it works.
Yeah. and
Clearly, it
like
had to have
comes
worked
on
like
Thursdays.
that. Yeah, he's only there on Thursdays. But then the conflict is, I've got to dance with Johnny at another resort up the street, so I can't get my abortion scheduled because he only will do it on Thursday or whatever.
You hate to see it.
So then Baby's like, why don't I learn the dance? And nobody objects. Really.
I mean, they all kind of go
Johnny
through.
kind of does.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
He's like, hell no.
Yeah.
But Billy's like, she can dance. She's got moves.
Yeah, Billy's our watermelon guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see him for like those two scenes.
He's kind of hype. He's like the
Yeah.
hype man for just a little bit.
He's a real yes and.
We like Billy.
But
right?
it can't
Yeah.
be. We like
He was
Billy.
fine.
Everybody else works. It can't be one of the other dance girls because Johnny's
true.
like, we can't do it. They don't have time to learn.
Billy's really the guy that convinces Johnny that it's all going to be all right if
gonna
she
be
just
okay.
learns to dance. And then we have actors that actually hate each other in real life being frustrated with learning to dance. But I think that the Baby actress is actually quite skilled because not only did she have to learn how to dance good, she also had to learn how to dance bad for the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
couple scenes. You have to screw up on purpose because there's that one scene where Johnny's very quickly adjusting, like arch your back and do this with your legs and do the shoulders like this. And it's like very quick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she had to learn to do all that wrong and then get corrected. And that could be very easy. And I could be an idiot. Maybe it's easy to dance wrong. All I can compare it to is like it's very hard to like sing out of key on purpose, for example, like y'all know, or like play guitar wrong. Like once you're used to sticking to a beat, it's hard to purposefully not be on
Yeah,
beat. So I
right.
wonder if dancing is like that. If she's a trained dancer, then it's like now screw up so we can correct you. I wonder
Yeah.
if that was hard. Who knows? I'll give her a call. So abortion happened. Robbie's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That guy's the devil.
Yeah, we hate that
Because he's
guy.
like, you gotta, because Baby goes to him. It's like, you gotta help her out with her abortion. He's like, chicks are a dime a dozen. Sometimes they're bad.
Probably sleeping with everybody.
Some people don't matter. Yeah.
Some people
Yeah.
don't matter.
Which is insane. It's an insane take for him to have.
Yeah.
Quote. No empathy, which is popular these days.
He's a sociopath or a
He is.
psychopath. I don't know what
He's
the
one of the
differences
two.
are. One of them, yeah. Maybe both.
And so, yeah, she gets money from dad. Just trust me. I can't tell you. Would you give your kid money
I think I would.
in those circumstances?
I think I would. I mean, she's a baby right now, so
I would just hope
I'm
to be,
inclined
yeah,
to
that's
trust her.
true.
But
I would hope to be
That much cash on you?
no,
Well, back then, the
Yeah.
credit cards, like you couldn't buy,
Oh, yeah.
like you couldn't use a credit card at like fast food until the 1990s or maybe the early
Wow.
2000s. There's a news piece you can look up on YouTube being like, who the hell would buy a cheeseburger with credit? What are you, poor? And it's like, now we're all just like, plastic, money's fake.
Yeah.
Real money's gross. I don't want
It
to
is
touch
gross.
touch it. I need Purell every time I touch money. Can you imagine having change? Like coins in your
No.
pocket?
Well, then it's
No.
embarrassing if you're at a register and you have to take forever to be like, where's my pennies?
25,
When?
50?
Yeah, and everyone's mad at
like,
you
ugh.
because you're taking forever. Like
I imagine
nobody
it's-
wants to do
Counting
that.
in public, just ugh.
Yeah, I imagine it was
Gross.
easier when like you could buy things for a nickel. You're like, this piece of garbage
yeah,
in my
here's
pocket
one
has
nickel.
value. And
Yeah.
now it's just doesn't
You would need so many nickels.
work. But it just gives her the money. I would hope to be the parent that like is so chill. They're like, my friend needs. I don't know if that.
And rich.
right.
But you know what I mean? Because clearly there's some kind of dichotomy there or relationship there where she knows she can't. And maybe it's the illegality and the fact that he's a doctor. Mm-hmm. But he's a cardiologist, apparently.
Oh,
I don't remember that.
So he's
Oh
not
yeah,
even-
because he says about the heart disease.
Yeah.
Or
But
blood
he still
pressure.
knows enough to fix up her
Her coochies.
bleeding issue.
Yeah. That whole thing, I was thinking about it. And then, when she's like, your dad's amazing. He said I can still have kids. I was like, how would he know?
How would he know that?
And also, I was trying to think of how that even happened. Like, because the guy said the doctor just had a rusty knife. And I was like, what was he cutting in there?
Right.
What was he doing?
How
What was
did
he
he-
doing?
Maybe coat hanger was in the script and they're like, you can't say coat hanger.
Yeah.
We're going to give kids ideas. So they turned it into something you would never want to stick up there. A rusty, jagged knife.
Yeah. I don't know. how
Or
to-
he was that shitty of a doctor that he's like, I found this.
This is probably
Fishing
fine.
around. It's done, I think. Just the worst. I just like.
No,
didn't like that
no
part.
medicine.
Just-
No, they
The
didn't like.
chitlins.
What? They didn't give her anything,
Nope. She was just in there screaming.
which is the worst. And then
Yeah.
he comes in and pulls out his vial of magic that he
Yeah.
just has. Brother's just traveling around with like a lot of morphine.
You
or
never
whatever
know
that
when you're
was.
gonna need some morphine.
But what was cool was like his doctor bag's bitching. If I was a
black
doctor
leather?
today, I would want to have a black leather, old school doctor's bag. This just seems cool. I want one now to put like t-shirts in for when I go like on a.
You wouldn't want a
overnight
red
trip.
bag?
No, I wouldn't want a stupid red Jason Bourne stupid red bag. And if
It's
I
so
was
identifiable.
if I had a red bag and went to my house, I'd get something else. You know, I would get something else. Follow us
Or
on
change
TikTok.
clothes or something.
Yeah.
Anything.
No kidding. Anyway, he stabilizes Penny, which is awesome. But then he thinks Johnny got Penny pregnant because he's like, who's responsible for this young lady? And Johnny's like, I am. Which,
Why?
why? Is he like this father
He's
figure to
taking
everyone?
responsibility. Yeah.
That is a pet peeve of mine.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Borrowing responsibility? Or
So I read a lot of books. This happens a lot in books where something could be cleared up easily if someone just stood up for themselves or just like cleared the air.
Yeah.
So like later in the movie when he's like, I see you as a man who got his partner in trouble and sent her to whatever, and then
Butcher.
Yeah, the butcher, and then moved on to an innocent young woman, and he's like, "That's what you would see," and like walks away when he could just be, he could just be like, "No, I didn't
You
get
see
her
what you want to
pregnant."
see.
what's even crazier about that is he shits on Baby for the same
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Because he's like, you never stand up for yourself, blah, blah, blah. And then
Right.
the one time she does, it doesn't matter because he gets fired anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, she's supposed to learn this lesson, and then she learns the lesson, but then just learns that I couldn't have just not done anything and the same exact
Right.
outcome would have come.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have learned from her, you know? Like, he wouldn't have been like, she stood up for me. That's my girl.
I thought all of the like learning exercises from both Johnny and Baby were just so flippant for one. Like they
Yeah.
all happen really quickly, and they're also just they don't hold a lot of water for me. The one turnaround in the whole movie where I was like, all right, was the dad. Was old Jakey.
Old Jake.
Because he
Jake.
seemed to have real actual character development. Like
Yeah.
Johnny doesn't feel to me like a demonstratively different character from the beginning of the movie to the end.
No.
He doesn't feel different.
Yeah. No.
Baby feels exactly the same. She really doesn't have a lot of development. She seems like
She
the
knows
same
how
baby.
to dance.
That's true. She learned a skill, I guess. But not that I require a lot of character growth, because like inside Llewyn Davis, you just watch a guy be bummed out for 2 hours, and it's a really good movie.
But that's the point of that movie.
That's
though.
the point of that movie.
They're doing
that's
it
like
deliberately.
that's a slice
yeah.
of life, whatever film. And this is like an 80s summer flick. This was actually, I read a little blurb that the studios were expecting teenagers to go see this movie, and were really shocked when it was a lot of adults, and even more shocked when, this is probably why it made so much damn money. They had a series, it was like, you read the same thing about Star Wars in 1977. I hope to God is when Star Wars came out, when they would leave the theater having watched the movie, and they got right back in line to watch it again.
Wow.
Wow.
This movie was popular.
It's I told you, it was a moment.
And it was a moment. And, you know, nobody puts Baby in a corner is a bit like, I've known that forever.
Same.
Were you a little disappointed?
Yeah, because I
Yes!
thought that she said it, and so I kept waiting for the
Nobody puts Baby in
yeah. So I kept waiting for the moment where I was like, man, what's gonna happen? Who's gonna piss her off? That she's gonna like stand up and be
Stand
like,
up for herself?
Nobody puts Baby in a corner, and
Oh.
then he
It's
just
Johnny
like
doesn't.
casually says it.
And
Nobody
Daniel's
puts
like,
Baby in a
it's the
corner.
symbolism of where she's seated. And I just
But the
wasn't.
circumstances were kind of so low. I thought it
Right,
was gonna be
the
like somebody like
stakes are
holding her in
low.
a
Right.
corner, being like, "Don't you go anywhere!" And then he's like, "Hey," and he like pushes him aside, and then he's like, "Nobody puts Baby in a corner." But this was just like she was just sitting.
She's just
She's
sitting there
sitting.
Like,
enjoying
maybe
the
it
show.
didn't seem as
Carl
Yeah,
just
climactic.
like he put what my feelings I couldn't articulate into words. I think that's it. Because at first I'm like, she's just sitting in a corner, and Daniel's like, yeah, but she's not on the stage, and normally they're on the stage.
Well, I think her dad sees her as a little girl, and you know he doesn't see her as a woman.
She is the younger sister, which I don't think, at least for my attention span, was portrayed particularly well. And I feel camaraderie now. I wasn't the only one.
I think she's got,
She is the younger
yeah.
sister. That is true, but I don't think that was conveyed very clearly. I don't know if I need it written on a billboard. Maybe I'm an idiot. We know that I'm an idiot. We've been doing the show for a long time. I'm not very bright when it comes to picking up on things like that. I tend to focus more on if guns have the right amount of bullets in them.
There was a moment. So when they're like going to drive to the lake and, you know, he goes to get in the car and he locked his keys in his car. So, and then
Yeah.
Johnny goes and kicks a pole out of the ground to
Smash the
smash his
window.
window. So he unlocks baby's door, right? He goes and gets in the car and Cameron's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
I had to pause the film. and
Did
rewind.
she unlock his door or was his door unlocked? Was that whole thing unnecessary? So we had to
'Cause
rewind.
there weren't.
Oh, no.
There wasn't central locking in cars back then. I don't
So we had to rewind, and we did confirm.
She reaches over.
She reaches
Okay.
over.
Okay.
So it
I
is
thought we
not.
had another ice water situation.
It is not another ice water situation.
Ugh.
Do you know about the ice water situation?
Oh my god.
I have to explain it.
We've
for-
gone over it
if
like
anyone-
every week.
Well, yeah,
Really?
we've went over it recently.
over a lot
'cause-
of movies
Well,
today.
it's because Nick loves to just twist the knife. He knows that I think Martin Scorsese is a ham-fisted director who needs to pay more attention to detail in his 4-hour mob movies with De Niro inevitably in them. But there's a movie called The Departed, right? Is it The Departed?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a movie called The Departed, and it sucks. You should just watch like
I
anything.
think it was
else.
mid, not sucked.
It
but-
sucks. And like all the mob movies you can watch, like that is bottom of the barrel. We're scraping. And in it, it's like DiCaprio who blows. I can't stand DiCaprio. And then this like they're in Boston and the accents aren't very good except for Wahlberg, who is the only good part of the movie, and he's in it for less than 15 minutes. But there's like it's DiCaprio and he's meeting this police chief, and DiCaprio has been like undercover or something.
Yeah.
Like he's getting in with this mob. But he keeps going to this police chief being like, I think they're on to me, blah, 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 is the thing. He runs to this police chief's house in the middle of the night, and he's exasperated. And I don't remember the circumstances because I'm so blindly enraged by what happens in this scene. The police chief invites him in, sits him down, and goes, let me get you an ice water. He explicitly says, let me get you an ice water. And we have a TikTok about this. The dude comes back with just a cup of water with no ice in it. And I'm like, bro, if your script says ice water, you have people whose job it is to design things that look like ice out of gelatin so that they don't melt ever, but they look like ice. Do it in your movie. You're supposed to be Martin Scorsese. Everybody worships at your altar, and you make shitty movies. That's the ice water thing. It really
Wow.
makes me angry.
Anyways.
It's like don't put it in the script if you're not gonna have ice.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy to say ice water specifically.
Let me get you
and
an
not
ice
just
water. And maybe he ad-libbed ice, but then go, Jesus Christ, he said ice, we're gonna do another take.
We could do it one more time.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I would what we know is I would be the worst director
Your
to
movies would
work
be
for.
over budget, over time.
and I'd be like, screw you. It's perfect.
But maybe it would be the best movie ever.
No, because it would come out
really
and
great
everybody would
continuity,
like
yeah.
it and I would hate it. That's how it would go. Ice water pisses me off. Vivian's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird character.
She-
She's dancing with Johnny at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, she likes him.
She's an old hoe, and I feel comfortable in saying that because the movie all but says it. Because
Yeah.
Max, the owner of the resort, is like, her husband's never here, and she's lonely. And they're like dancing with Johnny, and she's like licking his face, all but licking his face, and, like,
Stroking him with her
fingering his
fingers.
ass and
Yeah.
stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you just
spilled beer.
forget how to drink? Oh my gosh.
It's in my hair, dude.
Oh.
Oh no! Nobody puts beer in my mouth.
Oh my gosh.
That's embarrassing. Yeah. So
It's
she
fine.
and later, like, she wants to have sex with Johnny again.
Yeah, and she gets mad.
And Johnny's like, I only have sex with baby now, basically. But he's like, I don't remember his actual excuse, but this is very diplomatic.
He was booked up.
busy, yeah.
Her husband was giving him money to give her more dance lessons.
Yeah, dance lessons.
I'm
Which-
assuming the husband was not. He's not in on
No,
it.
he is a not.
Yeah,
in on
it's
it.
just
he
like
thinks
dance
that
lessons.
Vivian
I know.
takes dance lessons with the dancing
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah.
and he like. It's our glimpse that Johnny is.
If he's not
rough
putting
around.
that together, that's on him.
Yeah, right. Too much faith.
Yeah.
Johnny, it's our glimpse that he's a good like he's rough around the edges, obviously, because he's like blue collar, whatever. But he's not because he dances. Blue collar people can dance, but normally in a square. And he doesn't take the money. Which
Right.
we're like, all right, not a scumbag.
It's not just, he's been having other ladies like her, coming his way because he's handsome and young.
This
And it makes him feel good. He gets a little bit of action, but baby, it's real.
this camp had to
Nah,
be.
He tells her that they were using him, so he feels
Yeah.
negatively about it. So
Yeah.
he's kind of tired of it.
I was gonna say too.
Go ahead. No, go.
I hated when they were having their moment together in his bed, and she's like, "Have you had lots of women?"
I blew up at
Yeah.
that moment. I'm like,
Way to ruin a moment.
I'm like, you never asked
Why
that
would you
question.
ask that?
That is the don't ask.
Right. And
no
then
one's
first he
ever
says
been happy
no.
with that answer.
No. First he says no, and then he's like, "Well, there's just this one girl, then this one lady, and then actually all the ladies."
Yeah. And then
It's so hard being
slipping through
hot.
their hotel
Everybody's throwing their bodies
Pretty
on
privileged.
me.
to the writer's credit though, Baby then doesn't go.
That's true.
And
I
run out
thought
of the
she would
building.
be upset.
I would have started throwing shit at the television because I'd been like, you brought this on.
Right.
First of all, what do you think?
Yeah.
Take a look at him.
You're in a movie
Outside
called
dancing.
Dirty Dancing.
Man.
You walked in on the sweatiest, like dancing at the beginning of the movie. What do you think? And
Right.
this resort has to be ground zero for every STD. The crabs are so real, they have claws and walk about. Like everybody is screwing
It was kind of icky.
upside down and
vibes.
there's clearly no protections going on because we're having like crackpot Craigslist abortions happening at the beginning of the movie as a central plot point.
Yep.
I wonder, like, were you not allowed to watch Dirty Dancing?
No way.
But like, no, I'm saying, were you like ever like, I want to watch this, and your parents were like,
I don't remember it coming up. No.
because I wonder what would have been the bigger like guardrail,
Problem?
the
Yeah.
abortion or the overt sexiness of the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. Both would have been a problem.
Yeah, obviously.
I feel like the overt sexiness would have been a bigger problem than abortion because it's not viewed in a positive light.
That's true.
Like she
Yeah.
has an abortion, it's a like she gets
Well,
Make
really
an
hurt.
example of
It
it.
is and isn't though, because it depends on the character. There's something for everybody.
Yeah.
Because the dad's like, and everybody else is kind of like, you could just,
I feel like my dad probably relates to him. Like after he finds out his daughter had sex and he's just like staring off into the lake.
into the lake.
Sad. I feel like that's probably how my dad
So
felt when I got
dramatic.
married.
That guy, he
Was
reminds
like,
me of
well, that's it.
He reminds me of your dad a little bit. That's not a knock on your dad, but very like well-to-do.
Yes.
Probably like,
Highbrow.
comes from highbrow parents. Your grandparents are very prim and proper. Your grandmother wears church hats.
She does.
And like all but has a transatlantic accent. But
Yeah,
That's
no.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
Maybe
he's-
that's also why I like this because I'm like, this is me. I'm Baby. I was held. I was held down.
yeah,
I was sheltered.
Yeah.
I did.
I wasn't allowed to be sexy.
Nope.
I still don't like to be sexy because of my trauma.
Yeah. Purity culture. Wow.
It's a lot.
We've got
It
to
is
like,
a lot.
It's deep in there.
and it's probably only I can imagine getting worse. Which shout out to the youth. Y'all are not having a good time right now with this current political climate.
Oh yeah.
I had a Nick moment in the movie, and I completely missed a plot point, although not one as major as where the tickets were in Casablanca. Nick, if you're listening, probably somewhere in whatever states are in the middle of the country.
Somewhere. Somewhere you don't feel like going. Probably.
Yeah, Illinois.
I just burped.
I want to go to Illinois. I whiffed the old people wallet getting arrested.
Yeah.
I whiffed that. I didn't put two and two together because I missed that scene. Because this lady spills her purse at the beginning. And like a bunch of, I just took it as a bunch
Right.
of
Same.
old, like
Some old
old woman's
lady.
got shit in the 1960s. Maybe like there's 4 or 5 containers spill out. I know now they're wallets. They could have all been full of cigarettes for all I
Yeah.
know.
And you wouldn't necessarily recognize her from like being at the other hotel because you only see her so quick and like every time you see her is quick. Like if you're not like on it, you wouldn't recognize her at all.
And then at the end of the movie, because Johnny gets accused by Vivian, that bitch.
Payback.
She's
What
pissed.
did I call her in the notes, Carl? I said
Vivian,
something
in
about-
parentheses, old slut.
Yeah, she's an old slut, and we don't slut shame on this show. But I said something else too. Crap, dude.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, Vivian gets old hoe jealousy and frames Johnny for the loss of her husband's wallet. That was my notes.
Which, like, she could get him fired for sleeping with baby. So why not? Why create a lie when you have
Right.
the truth?
That is true, because that's where I thought it was going to go down, because she comes out from banging Robbie,
Robbie.
which as Lisa. So Lisa is the dumbest broad.
Lisa's
Yeah.
bad. We don't
I am
Lisa's
a
terrible.
sheltered, homeschooled boy. I don't have a lot of worldly experience until I was in my mid to late 20s, and I'm still in my late 20s. We're new out here. I'm having revelations at nearly 30 years old that people have had
Lord.
for half a decade beforehand. It feels bad. I'm going to therapy. I had a thought. It's gone.
The
I
towel
know
door.
about things on door handles.
Yeah.
How do you not know? How do you not think? Like, granted, it wasn't a sock. It was 7 times larger. They put like a whole ass beach
A whole towel.
on the doorknob, and she's still like, that's weird, and opens the door and sees the worst guy in the movie boning the worst lady in the movie, and she's like, and we're like, good, because you're awful.
Right.
I think I'm gonna go all the way with Robbie. He
she's
doesn't
so
know yet. It's
Yeah.
so stupid. She's my least favorite character. Lisa, I hope she drowns in that lake.
Someone at one point in the movie calls her Lissa.
Alyssa?
Lissa.
No.
And I was like,
I refuse to. That's like in Star Wars when Han Solo is called Han by Lando, and I'm like, huh? And also the Millennium Falcon or Falcon, depending on who's saying it and what scene. It's great. Star Wars had to bring it in.
Gotta do it every
Not my
episode.
fault. It's Michaela's fault.
Robbie's also wild because he completely got away. He completely gets away with it, and then he goes to
That
the doctor
dumb ass
and
dude.
admits,
Oh my
like,
God.
"Thanks for taking care of that for me."
right.
What?
Why would he think that the dad knew and was like chill about it?
Chill about it.
Hey, I
Really?
know this happened, but I'm still gonna give you money to go to college.
He outs himself for
And
knocking the chick
I was
up.
scamming on your daughter, but like I also knocked up this girl and wasn't gonna help her out. So
Right.
Thanks for the endorsement. And then
Like,
he takes
what?
it back. Like, that dude's the biggest dumbass,
Yeah, he's
which is
dumb.
what we know. I think
Yeah.
it just,
Yeah.
the movie felt like maybe they felt like they had to go out of their way to make sure we knew he was stupid as shit.
Just one more dunk on him.
Yeah. So, what was it talking about? Lissa ignores the sock on the door handle, bops in. Vivian's like, oh! And then Vivian walks out, having been probably satisfied by a much younger man,
Hopefully.
into the morning air and sees Baby just frolicking in the open with Johnny, having earlier hidden from people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not very consistent in our hiding. We're not
Maybe
the smartest.
she assumed that since it was so early that everybody else was asleep and like the Vivian was also getting up early to get back to her room.
Well, it's because old hoes get up at like 5
You know,
a.m. That's just what
she's
they
got to
do.
get back before her husband knows she's gone.
Yeah, her alcohol. She's got a headache. She needs to re-up. I assume everybody in the 60s was just drunk from sun up to sundown and vice versa. So she sees them frolicking and goes, I must have revenge on Johnny. And the best way to do it is to pretend he stole my wallet.
Get him fired.
So then we have the whole wallet saga. Baby has to confirm Johnny's alibi by being like, I know he wasn't stealing your wallet because he was with me. And then dad just gives her the silent treatment, which not healthy. Hello?
No.
No, I don't think I could have done that. I don't think I could have been like, hey, in front of my dad, actually, I was sleeping with this guy.
But if that happened and
He
you're a
would've been-
parent, do you not have the self-awareness to go, I did bring my daughter to the sex camp,
Right.
the place where we've been going for many summers.
They
like,
didn't
is he just have
know.
the horsest of horse blinders on the whole
They
time?
didn't know it was the sex camp.
You don't assume it's the sex camp? Was he
Why
not
would
paying
you assume
attention
that?
to Vivian at all?
The dad?
Yeah.
Well, but that's like an isolated, like she's doing that with Johnny. Like he doesn't know that like everybody's doing it with each other.
I don't know, man. If I'm at a
I don't
camp, that's like my
Listen.
first guess.
I had a lot of anxiety when they were up in his room.
Yeah.
I was like, the dad's
Knock,
gonna
knock,
find
knock,
them.
yeah.
I was like, someone's gonna catch them. And then they kept showing the window. The window wasn't open, but there weren't any like blinds. Like you
Yeah.
could just see out. I was scared.
Hello?
I was like,
I do love.
maybe that was my trauma.
We've seen 2 Patrick Swayze movies now.
One's coming.
We've seen 2 Patrick Swayze films. The other one being Roadhouse, our very first episode that again no one should listen to. One day we will redo it. Maybe for like our 5-year anniversary, if we go that long, we'll do Roadhouse again. We did watch the second Roadhouse, which blows. But 2 Patrick Swayze movies, and both of them he's got like pretty sick ass digs. Like it's supposed to be shitty.
And unconventional digs too.
Right, they're both unconditional. Like not a lot of furniture, just open. There's beer bottles sideways, but like I want to chill in there and listen to records with him, which is also insane. Carl, can you imagine? Like you and I are both like we gotta have shit going on for our little crazy spicy brains. Can you imagine like you get home and all you have to do is like all that there is to do is put a record on.
Yeah.
I would go insane.
No TV. He didn't even have
Although
any books.
if we were dancing all day like he was, we might just be exhausted.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe you just have a Schlitz and go to bed. I don't know. I did check the Budweiser
sounds
bottles
nice.
to make sure the labels were period correct, and they were, because I'm an idiot. That's what I think about.
They
when
were
watching
paying
movies.
attention to the details in this movie. Look at
Yeah.
that.
But
Except for all the music.
And on a low budget
Right.
too.
It doesn't help. Yeah, 5 million, 4 point whatever million, and then it made so much money, which is just awesome. But that's really the movie. I mean, then we have the nobody puts baby in a corner scene that kind of took the wind out of all of our sails.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know, it's
like
hard to have like I feel like there's lines like that in film that really live up, right?
Yes.
I'll be back. No, I am your father. Stuff like that, and nobody puts baby in a corner just didn't. In a similar way to if you build it, he will come. In that stupid ass movie that you were so. Did you listen to that episode?
I sure did.
It's
Yeah.
the rightest you've ever been. Because I was sitting. We'll get to that in a minute. But nobody puts baby in a corner. I just don't feel like. Did it hit for you when you saw it?
I like the whole what comes after that.
The dance.
Her
I'm
whole
having
like
a time of my
her
life.
I've looked up that dance on the YouTube and watched it like many times. It's been many years since I've done that. But again, when I was in my Dirty Dancing era,
We were at a wedding and friends of ours did the lift, and we.
it was wild. They did pretty good. Not as good.
The
but
crowd split like the Red Sea. Like you couldn't write it better.
No.
And the
Wow.
crowd split. They did the lift. There was a photographer on the roof of the venue shooting down at it. It was insane. I was drunk.
It was fate.
What was really impressive about the lift too is it wasn't even like her waist; it was like her hips.
Is that wrong? I
wasn't
don't know
even,
anything about
like-
dancing.
Well, I don't know, but it seems harder. It seems harder to like balance her on her hips and just like
That's what I was wondering, and I
waist.
was hoping that you'd picked up
Maybe
some dance
it's a
stuff by
better
osmosis.
structural holding point.
Because, like,
Yeah, you got bones there.
for
versus-
example,
Yeah.
okay, and you did cheer.
I did.
Which helps us a little bit because I was confused by the fact that the lifts failed and that they were her fault. Because it seems like her job's quite easy. Jump.
it probably is a lot of core strength, I would think,
To hold
keep
yourself
herself
stiff.
in that. Yeah.
You mentioned that with cheer that you had
Yeah.
to be a certain amount of rigidity required.
Yeah, because I was the flyer at my school.
Humble
And she was
brag,
prom.
humble
And I was
brag.
prom.
Oh my gosh.
So, but yeah, you had to keep like a certain amount of tension in your body for them to then be able to like do everything that they were gonna do. Because if you were a noodle,
Yeah.
then you were also up there and you're like
I guess
just
what-
noodling
You're dead
about.
weight then.
I guess
Yeah.
what confuses me though is if it's a tension game.
I
guess
still don't
maybe certain
understand-
amount of tension's key because like if you feel like you're falling, what do? You
Yeah.
tense.
Right. I also
yeah.
feel like she would be heavier up top. Not that she's heavy. She's a very tiny
Well,
lady.
yeah, they
but
were all like everybody's on cocaine. and
heavier-
cigarettes. They all weighed 8 ounces.
I would think most people like your
Top
heavy
half would be
than-
heavier than your bottom
Right.
half. That's a good point.
Aren't your legs like 2/3 of your weight though?
Are
Oh,
they?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Look
This
that up.
seems like
It feels impressive
so
to
me.
like little compared to like all
Right.
this.
You're probably
Got your
right.
head. And,
I mean, your butt though.
That ass. Dude.
That ass.
The dumpies.
I mean, not that baby had much of an ass. She was
Yeah.
pretty skinny.
All right, hang on. What? I'm gonna write over my tab where I googled Vanna White's age earlier. I thought she was 70. She's 68. You go, girl. Your
I
surgeon's
still don't
great.
understand why like tension, like why it's so like I still don't get
Yeah.
how it all works. I just know that it does. And there were times where like they were trying I was comfortable
Yeah.
like here.
I was very wrong.
Like at chin level, but if we went up anymore, I would get nervous and they would just be like, just think up, look at the ceiling. And I'm like, how does me thinking up
just
help
skate better.
help that much? But it did, so I don't know.
Legs are 20% of your body weight. I was incredibly
You were
wrong.
very wrong.
And I'll own up to that.
Oh.
I don't know why the hell
20?
I thought. Yeah. And that's what holds
That
us up.
can't be.
Legs?
80% above our legs?
I don't know, man. That's what the internet just said.
No, we're gonna have to do a study.
Wait, because thigh is listed. No, total leg.
Yeah.
What is this website?
Where are they ending the leg?
All right,
That
all right.
sounds
I've
like
got
a-
percentages for every part of the body.
All right.
Total leg, this chart says, is 16.7%.
One leg.
I don't understand this. Whole trunk says is 55.
Whole trunk.
Well, what's your trunk?
Yeah,
This.
your trunk
Like
has
from
all
your
your
belly button
This.
down.
And then your head is
tree.
8.26%. Your whole trunk is 55, so that's what, 63%? And then leg
could probably
is
get that down to 50.
16.7, which is not 100. Or is that 100? Who cares?
I don't
This
know.
is the
Much
worst
as
show
your
ever
soul.
made.
I can't do math.
Legs, not 60%. That's what we know. That was a stupid thing to say. I carried a watermelon. Just wild. I don't know. The breeding ground for STDs, I said. Oh, the balance on the log scene I wrote down has so many feet shots it would make Tarantino blush. Because it did, dude. They kept like full on
It was a
showing
lot of feet.
grippers.
Yeah. the grippers.
Grippers. And maybe they had to do it because Patrick Swayze's knee was just like a beach ball.
right.
Yeah.
And then what else do I have? I had cocaine. I wonder how much cocaine they did while making this movie. So
I've got a question for the group.
please.
What sound does a heartbeat make? Because it's not guh-guh.
You're right.
Patrick
I'd say
Swayze was doing.
Dun-dun,
Yeah.
dun-dun would be
I was like, did he just go cut? No, Patrick. Like, boom. Like, you know, like a heart, like a human heart. All right, try it again. Like, what? Guh-guh. Like, it's not a gong. Yeah, I was like, I've never heard anybody go guh-guh for a heartbeat.
I've got a question for the cast. What sound does a heart make? I love it. Patrick Swayze. I want to talk about him for 45 minutes.
Okay.
He's a point of contention for Danielle and I because I don't like Patrick Swayze.
Okay.
Chiefly, my biggest reason is superficial, and I'm gonna be forward about that and say that it makes me a bad person. I don't think he's attractive. I think he is overtly unattractive, and I don't like looking at
Like,
his face.
you don't just think he's not attractive.
Wow.
You think he's like ugly.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm like, I just don't.
Like, as far as leading
See it.
men in
I
Hollywood,
think he's
like
attractive.
one of the worst. I think he is
No
very,
way.
very not hot.
But
Like-
he
I
was
think his
popular
body's
during
great,
his time.
but his face is just. I don't like it. Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds. It's the 80s. Burt Reynolds was 70s.
He's more 70s.
He's more 70s. You're right. Who
But I was
wasn't?
saying, like, I don't.
That's what there might not have been
All right, let
like
me
a
Google.
lot to compare.
Who was
Nights-
Marty McFly? What's his name? I can't think of his name. He was in the 80s.
Yeah, but Michael J. Fox.
Michael
But he
J.
was a
Fox.
fetus, right?
Yeah, but he's an adult though. He just has a baby face.
Meryl Streep, Harrison Ford, Jack Nicholson.
He does
Michael
have like a
Douglas.
statuesque face.
Oh, De Niro, Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's not
Bill Murray's not a
attractive.
sex symbol, but I'd rather look at him than
You
Patrick
think Bill
Swayze.
Murray's more attractive than Patrick Swayze?
Yes.
No.
Mel Gibson?
No
Lord.
way.
Arnold.
No,
Stallone.
I don't. Arnold's too much.
Stallone was a looker. Rocky, he's attractive in Rocky. He does.
I was saying Arnold is
the hard
not.
thing about
Tom
Stallone.
Selleck.
Tom
Tom
Selleck.
Selleck.
Everybody wants to take that mustache for a ride, even me.
Yeah.
Way more than Patrick Swayze. Come on.
I just
Does he
am
kind of
like,
remind anybody of a horse?
Yes,
But I kind of think in a good
A
way
horse?
because he's like a stallion.
dude.
He's out
They
there
could have
dancing
had
and
Patrick
trotting and-
Swayze and Sarah Jessica Parker and had a whole ass stable.
Oh my god.
I apologize.
Yeah,
to
this
Sarah
is the
Jessica.
first photo that came up when I just Googled him, and that's not good.
No, it's not. He was a piece of ham.
That's not.
that's not a good
That's
example.
not a good.
David Bowie.
David
I know-
Bowie's
I
not.
know
no,
Danielle's not
no,
about
you
David
are
Bowie
not.
from Labyrinth.
You are not telling me
Sarah.
that David Bowie.
I think David Bowie is more attractive. Sarah.
God, that
No
movie's
way.
ridiculous.
Dance, magic dance, jump, magic jump.
he's so smooth. No,
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Patrick
just
Swayze did seem thicker in this movie than in Roadhouse. Like his face seemed fuller or something.
Tom Cruise is technically an 80s.
okay.
So-
Well, how's that rank to you? Because
Tom
you hate
Cruise
Tom
got that. He's
Cruise's
got that
tooth.
middle tooth. If you look at his teeth,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What you're
Just don't make
talking
him
about.
smile.
he's got that. Well, he does. He does smile though.
And he's
He
short.
smiles and he runs and he's 5'6".
So like Patrick Swayze's at least tall.
I don't know. Initially I didn't think I wasn't hot on Baby either. But the longer the movie went on, the more I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm about
She's
it.
so endearing.
She
Yeah.
is.
She
She's-
grows on you with the movie.
Yeah, and I
sweet.
like the short curly hair. I thought
I
it
do
was
too.
Cute.
It's my brand.
Yeah.
My brand. But that I kind of wanted to bring that up and reach for the iPad that's not in the right stand. I want to go into hot points now for Swayze because the thing with hot points is I don't get a say.
No.
I said to get my piece out. I don't like Patrick Swayze. I liked him a lot more in Roadhouse. I like Patrick Swayze. I've decided when he plays more of the quiet strength character like he does in Roadhouse. Roadhouse, he's just kind of chill and be nice until it's time to not be nice. Like I like him as a more stoic, cocksure kind of guy than like
There's some of that in here,
like
but,
you know what I mean. Like
yeah.
this movie reminds me a lot of. I'll talk about that actually when we're done with hot points.
Okay.
I'm gonna go right from hot points
You
into the
gonna-
point I was gonna try to make. Are we ready for hot points?
Yeah, I'm ready for hot
Here
points.
we have 2 women on the show for hot points. I'm excited.
All right.
I almost hit the wrong song.
How embarrassing would that have been?
Here's how embarrassing it would have been. It would have been this.
He's so classy. Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Alright, no.
hot points. No. Here we go. Worst show ever.
No, for hot points, we started at 5 and we add or subtract based on our guttural feelings.
Okay.
So, I gave him a +1. I like his little finger come here wags. I thought those
Oh,
were cute.
boy.
You know?
Wags.
Little, like, you know, little eye contact, little come here and dance with me. I was like, that's nice.
What else can you do with that finger, Patrick?
When they're at like the club or the like.
He does it a
underground
few
thing?
times. He does it a
The
few
club.
times. In the club, we all fam.
How to say it?
Listen, he got another +1. I was digging his shirts that he was wearing. Towards the end of the movie,
I didn't pay attention to
he
a
had
single
like a
shirt.
nice olive, like
He's not
button-down
wearing
Yeah.
shirts for I feel like 85% of the movie.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
This
shirtless.
specifically, when he had on a nice like olive, like loose
So
button
you're saying
down.
when he does it right.
Yeah, it was
All
a
right.
good shirt. It looked hot. He was tan and handsome.
Beer made my hair crunchy.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Anyway,
doing
so
to
that
our
brings us to a
insides?
7. And then you pointed it out that his arms looked nice in his black tank. And I was like, those are some nice looking arms.
I didn't say in the black tank. I said his arms look nice. I also said like 5 minutes ago, I think his body's great. His face is just,
Yeah.
wow.
So that brings us to an 8. I'm going to give him an 8.
Jesus. No downsides?
I didn't write down any. No.
You got
We didn't have
full
hot points
on
during Roadhouse,
shots of
did
his
we?
grippers, and you were still like,
Is this just
Dude,
based
his
on looks
feet-
or is this like.
It can be whatever you feel.
no, it's also
Okay.
otherwise.
No, his feet, though, they weren't gross feet. They were fine.
All right.
Because if they were gross, I would have noticed, and we would have deducted points because I don't like feet. So I was unoffended by them.
All right, so you're 8 out of 10. Do we have
Unoffended.
other Michaela hot points?
Yeah, I have some.
You have some things?
Okay, he got a point for me when they were in the lake. Well, first of all, the lake scene, just hot.
That's
scene.
hot.
Just hot scene.
Maybe the hottest in the film.
But her tank top keeps kind of coming down, and there's a part where
Ooh la
he like
la.
goes to fix it for her, but then he's like not sure if he should touch her
Yeah.
or not. And I was like,
In
oh,
real life, he's just like, I hate this
okay,
bitch.
right. That's so it's so
Yuck.
crazy for me to hear that because I was like, oh, maybe like he didn't mean to do that, but he just was like gonna help her. So that was hot. And then he lost a point. At one point, I didn't like. He was kind of a baby.
Ironic.
I didn't like
Ooh.
when he was like yelling at baby for.
Yeah, like he's whining.
Yeah, I was like, shut the hell up. Shut up. Let her do what she wants. And then he did get another point at the end in his like black button down. In the last scene, it was like unbuttoned a little
Yeah.
bit, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Good, like loose little flow. Yeah.
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 And I guess probably another point too. I liked the way he was leading her in the dance
In
when
the
they were at
dance.
the other hotel, and he was like, "To your
him
left,
lead.
to your left."
He
or,
was,
"Turn
she
around, you're
messed
doing
up,
good."
and it was
Right,
like, it
yeah.
was okay. We were good.
I was actually surprised that the script didn't go the angle of like, you bitch, you screwed up my thing. He was
Yeah.
like, you did good. And she's self-deprecating.
Right.
I thought that was well written. It subverted my expectation of having him be a trash can. So.
Yeah.
Well, how many points was that?
I think that just said
plus 1, minus 1, plus 2.
I think it's a 7.
Seven, I
So
think,
7
yeah.
and an 8. Fairly consistent. Patrick Swayze, he's above average.
I think he's above average.
Yeah.
Above average. We'd send
He's
him
not
an
a
award
fu-
for it, but he's dead.
He's not a full 10. He's not a full 10, but
He's
he's,
not a full 10,
he's
no.
above average.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, he died of cancer in 2009.
Rip.
Sad.
R.I.P.
I think I
Patrick.
was-
I also would like to point out at one point Cameron went, Swayze me, Patrick. And I just thought
I don't
that
remember
was
doing
great.
that.
You
That's a
don't
good bit.
remember doing that?
That's a good bet.
I think he was doing some lifting or something. Might have been in the lake, and you were like,
It's so funny to me that you're
Swayze
like,
me.
I like that shirt he wears.
He looked good.
Every shirt is just an opportunity for him to take it off.
They're already
Listen,
like half unbuttoned.
Yeah.
Okay.
it was good for his like complexion. It was a good shirt.
Okay.
Collection.
I'm actually going to hold off my question for a little bit. I want to get Carl's vibes on the film.
Yeah, Carl hasn't said much.
No, I wanted it to be the woman show, but let's bring the boys in.
I was trying to dial it back. I'm kind of surprised you guys didn't think I was gonna like it. I just don't like some musicals. I like things.
I don't know
like
why.
romance,
Okay, so
like-
she said that, not me.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Okay, can I apologize? Because I've been defending you to Cameron all week that maybe Carl will like it. So I don't know why I was so spicy at the beginning.
I didn't think
and
you would.
I'm sorry.
I didn't think you would like it because it's centered around dancing, and it's.
Dance though.
But I
when the moment's right.
and
I
in-
can't do it like they do.
And
I have
in
it on
fairness,
video.
in my defense, I was saying things like that before I knew how much dancing would be in the movie, and really, it's not that much.
No.
I thought this
too
would be
much.
significantly more dance. Like, for example, when he had to train her up for the thing to so she could cover for what's her face for so she could have her abortion.
Penny.
I thought that was going to be the next 45 minutes, and it was the next 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I didn't know what kind of movie this was going to be. I expected this to be honestly more musical adjacent than it was, which is why I was kind of being like, Carl's not going to like this. Like, we're setting it up. We got to get a woman on the show for some balance, so where it's not just railroad Danielle time. But so you didn't hate it, is what you're saying.
No, well, I started and I was a little apprehensive, but then like the opening credits I kind of liked. I was like, okay, this is kind of gritty and kind of like I thought it was going to be more like hoaxy and whatever. But it was definitely. I don't know. I really liked it. I think I almost watched it twice, but my rental time ran out, so I had to stop halfway through. But I think, Baby's performance had a really great arc. I thought she had like a very flirty but like kind of playful energy, and she kind of like grew and learned to dance, and I kind of enjoyed it. I don't know. It's vibey.
Yeah,
I like
I
the
agree with
music.
that.
And,
It's-
It is a vibe. He likes the music. I feel validated.
I don't. I'm a large fan of not liking the 80s at all, which means I'm not a fan of the 80s. Like 80s rock I think is cool. Like I vibe with AC/DC and stuff, but like popular music in the 80s, whatever we were doing with synthesizers, we shouldn't have done.
We did a lot.
I think I feel the same. I think I've said this before on the show a couple years ago. I feel the same way about synthesizers in the 80s as I feel about us jumping too early on DVDs, like digital stuff. Like we moved from film too soon and we moved into synths too soon. I just don't think it's aged well. I'm not sure how we'll look back on the 80s synthwave and be like,
Yeah. I mean, I don't look back on it now.
my ears
favorably,
just
so.
vomit every time I hear it. And I'm like, why would you listen to that when like AC/DC's Back in Black exists? I don't know.
It was a different plot than I was expecting, though. Like I kind of thought it was a small town, and Patrick Swayze rolls in and is like, "I like to
Oh.
dance dirty,"
A la
and everyone's like,
Roadhouse a little
"Stop
bit.
it!"
That's more of
Yeah,
more
kinda-
footloose,
that's-
more footloose.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what maybe my wires getting crossed. I haven't seen that either,
I
but
haven't either.
yeah, it's.
My wires get crossed with this movie and Ghost.
Oh.
I was like,
I
when's
think
the
that's-
pottery scene gonna happen?
Yeah.
Maggie had made the same comment. She was like, "Is that the one with the pottery?" And I was like, "No, that's
Yeah.
Ghost, not Dirty Dancing."
I don't know. Is it derivative that we know Patrick Swayze movies for like one scene? It's dump a baby in a corner in the pottery, or is that most movies? Like, do you think of most movies by their pinnacle scene? Like when I, for example, and I'm a
Ooh, that's good
weirdo.
question.
I recognize that I'm in like the upper 10% of this, but like when I think of Empire Strikes Back, I don't think of No, I Am Your Father. You know what I mean? I think of 12 things that have, like, I don't, when I think of Lord of the Ring, when I think of Fellowship of the Ring, I don't think of Fly, You Fools. I don't think of, you know what I'm saying?
I think it's more about the movie. Like, because when you think of Casablanca, everybody goes to Here's Looking at You, Kid. Or when you
You're
think
right.
of Titanic, you think of I'm flying.
Yeah.
I'm king of the world.
Casablanca also has, I think this is going to be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
So I think it's more about like movies, like if they have an iconic moment.
I mean, Citizen Kane is
They're little
Rosebud.
cherries on top. It's not, yeah.
So
Little
maybe
bite-sized.
it's maybe it speaks to the strength of the line and not the weakness of the film.
I think so.
I'll go with that.
But you're right, though. Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner is kind of.
Like, I guess that's just
You know.
was such a moment that it's taken on a life of its own. Not that the movie around it is bad
Yeah.
or weak.
I bought some basil at Publix the other day.
Where's this going?
I know where it's going.
Herbs.
It was grown in the villages.
Yes.
And on the box, it said nobody puts basil in a corner.
All right.
Oh, that's
All right.
good.
The
It was
villages,
good.
they're
Have you
having
noticed
fun.
all of them are like
Yeah,
they're all
hometown
puns.
sentiment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they all have a different
Good
like, movie
chives
pun.
only. Yeah.
Publix kind of does a little
That's
bit
so
of that
Bob's
with their
Burgers.
Yeah.
Publix brand stuff. It
was
is
kinda
Bob's
fun.
Burgers. That is Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
Bob's Burgers.
I
is
love
such a good
Bob's
show.
Burgers.
It's the one animated show Danielle likes.
Me too.
The one animated
too.
show. Do you find them just ridiculous?
Sometimes they're just kind of crass and then like not
Yeah.
in a way that I enjoy.
Other like Carl and I were big fans of like season 6-ish of Family Guy because that's when we grew up. I'm a big fan of the show Archer, which she just finds
Oh
repulsive.
Lord, same.
Yeah.
Elijah likes Archer.
That's my boy. Archer's a great show, but she's like, it's too fast and it's too crass, and I just don't want to watch it.
so,
Yeah.
Too fast and too quick.
But Bob's Burgers, she deals with. She's also, to her credit, she can get down with a little bit of King of the Hill,
Oh.
which is an incredible show.
Yeah. I think it's just, I don't like it when jokes are framed against women a certain way. I just don't think that's funny. And King of the Hill and Bob's Burgers don't really do
Well,
that.
King of the Hill and Bob's Burgers are both shows. They're animated
They're more
shows that could
family-oriented.
work. They're family oriented, and they're both animated shows that could work in live action without any changes. There's nothing overtly impossible that, like, there's the Mechanical Shark episode of Bob's Burgers that's a bit insane. But other than that, a lot of the plots are pretty, like, they play pretty tight to reality. It's just animation is the medium they use. Yeah, it's and King of the Hill is a Mike Judge show, and he worked on The Office, so there's that tie-in. I have a question. This movie reminded me a little bit of a movie I don't think Carl's seen, or maybe it's Nick, but of Grease. Although Grease is a musical, this is not a musical, but they both have similar-ish vibe. Grease is
Yeah.
a little more happy-go-lucky in a way,
Whimsical?
whimsical, fantastical. It is a musical, so that kind of comes with the territory. Like like Hairspray is similar. They both
Yeah.
kind of feel the same. But I don't know. The plots are
I think
involves a
the
lot of dancing
the
and
message of Grease is worse.
worse.
I was gonna say I kind of think I
The
like
message
Dirty
of
Dancing
Grease-
better than
the message
Grease.
of Grease is demonstratively worse because the message of Grease is like, oh, now you're hot because you fit in
Don't
with
be
the greasers.
yourself. Yeah, don't be yourself. This guy who disrespected you in front of his friends.
It is.
Yeah.
It's Grease's message is change yourself for the man.
Yeah.
But at least with Grease, there's a little bit of
I mean,
he
that's-
changes for her
He
too,
tries.
in a way. And
Yes.
also, there's some groovy car racing in the
I
River.
still love Grease.
Carl, you've not seen Grease?
I thought I had, and I think I'm realizing now that I may have just seen a clip on TV once. Like, I don't think I've
Ooh.
actually seen it.
Grease is bitching. We should maybe put it in the bucket because is
thought
it in
it
the
was.
bucket? Oh, Grease is in the bucket.
'Cause Nick
so
hasn't
you,
seen it
You will
either.
watch Grease. Grease rules. My parents love.
I literally had a note that was like, if Grease is like a little bit like this, I think I would really enjoy
It
it.
is a little bit like
It's fun.
this.
It's fun.
but it's not the same.
The musical quality is what I'm like, oh, God, I don't know if I can do it.
Grease, though, it's not a musical quality in the same way like Singing in the Rain is.
No,
I
no,
don't,
no.
I don't
It's-
think this music like drags. Like Singing in the Rain, like they do go on with the same song for a while. Grease, like the style's different. I think it moves through a bit quicker
It does. It's like, what if American Graffiti was a musical and awesome?
and better.
And actually, Grease only exists because of American Graffiti, in fairness. Grease made the 50s and hot rod culture cool, or American Graffiti did. And then Grease kind of took that and ran. And is also like almost 10 years older than Dirty Dancing. Grease is a late 70s movie.
Oh,
Like 1978, I think.
Wow.
John Travolta's old.
now I just want to watch Grease.
Grease rules. On that note, you
What are you
have
gonna
to
ask?
pick
Okay.
John Travolta in Grease or Patrick Swayze in this.
Patrick Swayze.
Really?
I do not think John Travolta is attractive.
I don't
No?
either. I don't either. That's yeah. I think he's worse.
Oh, I'm going John Travolta.
Well, wait. Let me look at. Hold on. Let me look.
I'm
at,
going. I'm talking
He has-
appearance, not overall vibe and
No,
character.
I got it. But he has such a severe butt chin, doesn't he?
Oh,
Like
Damn.
really, really thick. Let me look him
I had
up.
to look at both of you.
Grow a
to make sure.
beard.
Come on.
I did not like a butt chin. I know. I was like, I don't want.
I've got a little bit.
He's
of
He's
a-
such
you
a
can't see
square.
it though. You gotta.
But John Travolta in Grease, man, not John Travolta in 2010.
Yeah, but he was still a square in Grease. Let me look. Okay. I'm
She'd
looking.
like Google John Travolta
Yeah.
wild hogs. Like,
No. Okay, you think that Patrick Swayze looks like a horse, but not John Travolta? Look at them. He's so long.
Yeah.
I said he looked like a horse as a compliment.
like
Cameron-
this poster. I'm
Cameron
like,
says it negatively.
I like John Travolta. I think he's groovy.
That is
Although, are
so.
y'all horse girls?
Feels like it's
'Cause
highly.
maybe that's the.
I had a phase.
Also, Olivia Newton-John.
She's a cutie.
Yeah.
You think she cutie?
Wow.
She's a cutie.
Especially at the end of the movie, which is not.
Oh,
that's
really?
the bad thing. But I'm like, ooh.
I thought she was cute as her normal Sandy
Well, yes,
too.
of course.
I thought she looked good both ways.
That movie rules. That it was like growing up. I remember my parents being into a couple films,
and that was one of
and
them.
that was one of them. It was the ones that like Grease, Wizard of Oz, the first Star Wars film, and Smokey and the Bandit. That's more my dad's side with the latter two. But those were like the four movies that were kind of on. Like whenever Grease was on TV and there was channel surfing, we
Yeah.
stopped for Grease. We stopped for Wizard of Oz.
That's
Willy
kinda
Wonka and the
surprising.
Chocolate Factory as well. Which is why that's one of my favorite movies of all time. Like that's a top 10 movie. I've seen it twice this year already.
Wow.
I love, or in the last 6 months at least.
Yeah.
And
My parents would let us watch the TV version of Grease, but not the like movie version because
Yeah.
there's a few like someone squeezes a boob or something. There's some off-color stuff.
now I'm not
that
sure
are-
I've seen the
Our
real
little
version.
baby, delicate Christian eyes couldn't see.
That was true of Smokey and the Bandit as well. I didn't
Yeah.
see the like actual cut of Smokey until I moved out of the house because it's not that accessible. You buying movies on iTunes wasn't a thing we did, and now you can just own them. I
Now you
bought
can
it
just
on
have
Google
whatever you
TV and
want.
I just watch it all the time. But there were televised censored swears. So like Bandit is called Some Bitch by Buford T. Justice all the time, and in the TV version it's Scum Bum. You scum bum. And it was like that kind of deal. And so I grew up with the fake swears, and I really want to find like a bootleg TV rip of
Yeah.
the version I grew up watching. But I've looked and it just doesn't exist. I digress. So I'm alone. I'm John Travolta in Grease. That's who I would rather.
I also just John Travolta's voice is just.
Yeah, but he's doing it up for a thing. I don't know. I would rather go with John Travolta and get a milkshake than be sweat on by Swayze on a log.
No.
Swayze could lift me.
I also
You know?
appreciate. I like John Travolta more as an actor as well.
I think overall his movies are better,
I mean,
right?
Swayze didn't do anything that holds a candle to
Oh,
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Shoot, you're right. Yeah.
Pulp Fiction is, I still
forget that
think,
was him.
one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. And I think Tarantino deserves the glazing.
Should we watch
because he made
Saturday
that.
Night Fever?
That was Carl's watched that, yeah? Or was that Nick? Or was that nobody?
Can't imagine Nick watching it.
No,
I
what
can't
am I
imagine
thinking of?
Nick
I'm thinking of Scorsese. Shoot me in the brain. Tarantino's first film. What's that called?
Oh, Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs. I don't know
Yeah.
why you said Saturday Night Fever and I thought of Reservoir Dogs, but that's
They're not
Saturday
the
Night
same.
Fever. Is
They're
that the
very
one with John Travolta and Jamie Lee Curtis?
Disco, yeah.
And there's that scene of them in like the yoga
Oh.
studio, and she's doing the weird
I'm not-
pelvic thing, and then he does it
Thrusting,
too,
yeah.
and you're like, what the fuck's
I
happening?
think maybe. I'm not sure.
But
But you hate the Bee Gees, so you might not like Saturday.
that's not true. I have hated the Bee Gees.
Okay.
I won't go out of my way to listen to the Bee Gees, but like nowadays, Staying Alive comes on, and I'm like, all right. Like
It's a bop.
I respect. I've actually listened to that whole record, and it was hard getting through it because disco. I think that.
Oh,
it's-
I think
don't
it's
hate
good.
I think I would refine my statement in my wizened age to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate the Bee Gees, but I don't like disco.
I agree with
Okay.
that. I'm not really a big disco fan either.
But man, that vocal range of those brothers, wow! All born on the Isle of Man, where there's no speed limits. That's really all I had.
We have been going for a while.
Question wise, we've been going for a long time. It's time for hit, miss, or miss, and then our last question of the evening after that. So I'll start. I don't want to start. Why don't you two start? I'll go third.
For me, it was a hit.
All right.
I liked it. I'd watch it again. It was worth the $3.99 to rent it or whatever.
Yeah. We had the DVD.
Are you glad you watched it?
Oh yeah.
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 All right, Danielle.
Oh, it's a hit for me. I love this movie. It was I hadn't seen it in a while, so it was nice to go back and watch it.
Carl?
Oh, you're not going third?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a hit.
Yay!
I was pleasantly surprised. I'll probably watch it again.
I'm actually
It's like a
gonna,
nice, low stakes, fun watch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a hit as well. Actually, I ended up enjoying it. I think it's a good movie.
Okay.
I think it's. I don't really have a lot of bad things to say about it. I nitpicked Bourne more than I nitpicked this. All of my real quote unquote gripes were just with the characters being dumb and not characters being written poorly. I think it's a good movie. It's short enough to not irritate me. It's an hour 40, which is beautiful. God bless that. I know the 80s is like considered by, for example, Tarantino to be the worst decade for film by miles. And there's a lot of cheese ball ass films in the 80s. And I think this is a good popcorn movie. Would I watch it again? No. Like, I'm just not interested. But I'm glad to have seen it.
Yeah.
I still don't really get the baby in the corner hype for that line. But hey, I don't get a lot of stuff, so it's fine. No, it's a hit. I think it's good. It's a fun movie. Well, that's really it then. Nobody dissented, so I don't have to pull out my what are we thankful for about the movie because we all kind of liked it.
we all liked it.
That was a good bit last week, or whatever week that was. So, bucket time?
Yeah. I think it's Nick's turn, but he's not here.
Well, Michaela can pick them.
Do you want to pick our next
So
movie?
you shuffle our bucket and then pull a ticket out. And
Let's see.
Please don't let it. What's great about this year is I don't actually remember a lot of what's in there. So
We just
got a lot
had
of
like
movies in here.
one night where we ranted, and then I just wrote them all down.
if we pull Grease, I'm going to freak out.
No, but I have seen this one. Clueless.
Ooh, another girl movie.
I don't know anything about Clueless.
It is based on a Shakespeare novel, and it has Paul Rudd in it.
All right.
You love Paul
I
Rudd.
don't love
It's,
Paul Rudd. I think he's...
Reese Witherspoon, or am I thinking something else?
No, you're.
I'm thinking of Legally Blonde.
Yes, it's Alicia. I can't think of her name. Do you remember her
Alicia
last name?
Silverstone.
Silverstone.
Alicia Silverstone, Paul Rudd, Brittany Murphy, Stacey Dash. Donald Faison's in this.
Brittany Murphy, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
From Scrubs.
Beautiful girl.
I love Donald Faison. This movie came out before I was born.
This is a chick flick
Oh.
classic.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Shallow, rich, and socially successful Cher. Is this about Cher?
No.
Or just
No,
different
her name's-
Cher?
her name.
Her name's just Cher.
Is at the top of her Beverly Hills High Schools. Here we go. See, that's what's going to harm this movie.
We lost
No, it's
him.
a good movie.
But the thing is, every high school movie, like for example, Superbad. Carl loves the movie Superbad. I never went to school, so none of it. I couldn't
okay.
click with any of it. So I feel bad because I end up hating that movie, and I'm just like, the movie's dumb. But I had no high school experience. I never went to parties and shit. I was homeschooled. Top of her Beverly High School's pecking skill. Is this just Mean Girls?
No.
Seeing herself as a matchmaker, wow. Cher first coaxes two teachers into dating each other. That's crazy. Emboldened by her success, she decides to give hopelessly klutzy new student Ty a makeover. It's Grease. When Ty becomes more popular than she is, oh God, Cher realizes that her disapproving... It is Mean Girls. A disapproving ex-stepbrother, Paul Rudd, was right about how misguided she was and falls for him. She falls for her ex-stepbrother? Gross.
I can't believe that was in the synopsis.
I know. Why would they give that away?
Why would they give that away? That's a
Nick,
major
don't
plot
listen to
point.
that.
You just don't
Nick
think about
would
it
love
too
it.
hard.
It's a twist.
Oh, shit. Well, it's not my
We'll just
fault.
forget that.
I just read the...
Just forget that. Yeah, it
We'll
doesn't
just get
matter.
real
It's fine.
This one
drunk
has
later.
a really popular line in it too.
Clueless?
As F.
Yeah.
Okay,
feel
so
like everybody
I
knows
know
that
I've
line.
seen that. I can't place even the person, but I know nothing about this movie.
Well, I
Is
hope.
this like...
What?
This is a potentially crucifiable question. Is this popular?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is one of Caitlin Reed's favorite movies.
Oh, God. The pressure is on. Actually, I don't give a shit. I'm going to shit on this movie.
Rom-coms historically haven't done well here, so I hope this
Yeah.
one fares better. It
What
has more
rom-coms have done okay.
Well, they've been middle of the road. There haven't been any that we've been like
You know
really
what?
excited about.
You're kind of... There is one.
Crazy Stupid Love.
There's one.
We really liked.
One. That was...
Oh, The Big Sick.
The Big
Yes,
Sick, which
you're
is
right.
one of the greatest films. Have you seen that?
I haven't, but
Dude.
I remember the commercials and wanting to see it.
Dude,
There's-
that
It's so
movie
good.
rules. And with that, we're going to leave. Clueless, ladies and
Clueless.
germs. Thank you, Michaela, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having
This
me.
was fun.
It was fun.
Maybe we'll do this again
Oh,
next time Nick goes out of town. And
Nick,
we've happened
go out
to
of
pull a
town.
movie.
go out of town.
We'll just, we'll all die off. It'll be a woman show. It'll be perfect. I'll
Yeah.
just produce it.
We'll talk about our babysitting experiences together. Yep.
All right, folks. We're going to watch Clueless. Watch it with us. Join the Discord, and we'll catch you in the next one.